Today we're diving deep into a topic that has fascinated humanity for centuries: the way the universe lines up events to support you. This isn't just some poetic idea or mystical belief. If you've ever noticed how one small coincidence sets off a chain reaction that changes your whole day, or even your whole life, you've already experienced this. The truth is, the universe is always communicating with you. It does this through signs, synchronicities, and little nudges that help you find your way. But the key is, you have to be present in the now to notice them. If you're distracted by the past, worrying about the future, or numbing yourself with busyness, these magical alignments can slip right by without you ever realizing it. When you do notice them, though, it's like being on a natural high. Endorphins flood your body, your energy rises, and you feel connected to something much larger than yourself. Suddenly, life doesn't feel random anymore. It feels like a beautifully orchestrated symphony, designed to guide and support you. And here's the best part: this is happening all the time. Right now, as you're watching this video, the universe is lining up events, people, and opportunities to support your highest good. Whether you call it divine timing, synchronicity, or the law of attraction, it all points to the same truth: you are not alone, and life itself is conspiring in your favor. So what do we actually mean when we talk about signs and synchronicities? A sign is something that carries meaning beyond its surface appearance. It could be seeing repeating numbers like 1111 or 333. It could be overhearing a conversation that answers a question you've been asking yourself. It could even be a song that comes on the radio with lyrics that seem to speak directly to your situation. A synchronicity, on the other hand, is when meaningful coincidences happen in a way that feels too perfect to be random. The Swiss psychologist Carl Jung, who coined the term, described it as a meaningful coincidence of two or more events where something other than chance is involved. Imagine you're thinking about changing careers but you're unsure if it's the right move. Then, you bump into an old friend who just transitioned into a career similar to the one you're considering. They share their story, give you encouragement, and maybe even connect you with someone who can help. That's not just coincidence, it's synchronicity. These moments feel like the universe is whispering to you, you're on the right path. Keep going. Oprah Winfrey once shared that when she was first offered the role in The Color Purple, she desperately wanted it but didn't hear back from the casting team for weeks. She was devastated. One day, she was at a weight loss retreat, walking around a track, crying and praying for guidance. In that moment, she said she surrendered and let go of the outcome. That same afternoon, she got the call that she'd been cast in the role that launched her into worldwide fame. Coincidence? Or the universe perfectly lining things up the moment she aligned with surrender and trust? Synchronicities remind us that life is not a series of random accidents. It's a woven tapestry of meaning, with threads that connect in ways we can't always see until they come together. Here's the tricky part, though. These signs and synchronicities are happening constantly. But most people miss them because they're not present. Think about it. How many times have you been walking down the street, glued to your phone, and missed something amazing happening right in front of you? Maybe someone smiled at you, maybe a bird flew right across your path, maybe a person walked by who could have become a friend or partner. But you didn't see it, because your attention wasn't in the now. Presence is like adjusting the focus on a camera. Suddenly, everything sharpens. You notice the small details. You pick up on the subtleties of life. You catch the whispers of the universe. Science backs this up too. Studies on mindfulness and presence show that being in the moment increases activity in the prefrontal cortex and decreases stress hormones. This makes your brain more open, more aware, and more capable of seeing patterns you'd otherwise miss. Your brain is constantly processing millions of bits of information every second. It can't consciously pay attention to all of it. So it filters based on what you deem important. This is called the reticular activating system, or RAS. When you train yourself to be present and to expect guidance, your ROS starts highlighting those signs and synchronicities for you. Have you ever decided you want a certain car, let's say a red Tesla, and suddenly you start seeing red Teslas everywhere? They were always there, but your brain wasn't filtering for them until now. The same thing happens with universal signs. When you're present and open, you notice them more often, and that noticing creates a feedback loop of even more synchronicities. A woman named Laura shared on a podcast that she was struggling financially and felt lost. One day, she decided to go for a walk without her phone, just to clear her mind. As she walked, she noticed a flyer on a lamppost for a local community business workshop. She felt a nudge to attend. That workshop led to her meeting a mentor who helped her start her own business, one that eventually became wildly successful. If she had been distracted, she might have walked right past that flyer without ever noticing it. Presence opens the door for synchronicity to walk in. And when synchronicities happen, the feeling is unlike anything else. Have you ever had one of those magical moments where everything just clicks? Maybe you were thinking about a friend and they called you within minutes. Maybe you said yes to a random invitation and it turned into the best night of your life. Maybe a small accident led you to meet your soulmate. In those moments, your body lights up. You feel excitement, joy, and awe. Scientists say this happens because your brain releases endorphins and dopamine, the same chemicals associated with falling in love or achieving a big win. Synchronicities are like the universe's way of giving you a natural high. They remind you that you're connected, supported, and exactly where you're meant to be. Dr. Bernard Beitman, a psychiatrist who studies coincidences, found that people who experience synchronicity often report feeling a rush of energy, increased creativity, and heightened intuition afterward. It's as if the universe not only gives you a wink, but also fuels you with momentum to keep moving forward. One man shared that he met his wife through a chain of random events. He missed his train, ended up taking a different route, sat next to someone he'd never met, and they introduced him to the woman who became his partner. He said the entire experience felt like falling into a stream of magic. That magical stream wasn't random, it was the universe lining things up. And here's the most beautiful part, this isn't rare. Synchronicity is happening all the time. The reason it doesn't always feel that way is because we filter it out. We explain it away as coincidence. Or we're too focused on what's wrong to see what's right. But the truth is, the universe never stops weaving connections. Every missed bus, every delayed flight, every person you bump into at the grocery store, these all carry potential meaning. Science gives us a framework for this too. Quantum physics suggests that everything is interconnected through what Einstein called spooky action at a distance. Particles separated by vast distances still affect one another instantly. If this is true at the smallest level of reality, why wouldn't it also be true in the unfolding of our daily lives? Researchers have shown that our thoughts and emotions can influence not just our personal perception, but even physical systems. The Global Consciousness Project, for example, has found statistical anomalies in random number generators during major world events, suggesting that human consciousness itself affects the fabric of reality. If consciousness is woven into the universe, then synchronicities make perfect sense, they are reflections of that connection. Steve Jobs often spoke about how you can't connect the dots looking forward, only looking backward. He described how dropping out of college allowed him to take a calligraphy class that later inspired the beautiful typography on Apple computers. At the time, it didn't make sense. But years later, it became clear that the universe had lined things up perfectly. The dots are being connected for you right now, even if you can't see the bigger picture yet. So how can you invite more of this magic into your life? Start with presence. Spend at least 10 minutes a day in silence, observing your breath or your surroundings. The more you train your brain to be present, the more signs you'll notice. Next, set intentions. Before you start your day, try saying, "Show me signs that I'm supported." You'd be amazed how quickly the universe responds when you ask. Then, follow the nudges. When you get a feeling to call someone, go somewhere, or try something new, listen to it. Those nudges often lead to synchronicity. Keep a synchronicity journal where you write down every sign, coincidence, or alignment you experience. Over time, you'll see patterns that strengthen your trust in the process. And finally, celebrate the magic. When synchronicities happen, don't brush them off. Gratitude amplifies their frequency. The universe is lining things up for you right now. The people you're about to meet, the opportunities that are on their way, even the setbacks that are secretly redirecting you, they're all part of a larger pattern of support. If you stay present, pay attention, and trust the process, you'll begin to see the magic everywhere. And when you do, life stops feeling like a struggle and starts feeling like an adventure. Synchronicities are not accidents. They're reminders that you are loved, guided, and connected to something far greater than yourself. So next time you see repeating numbers, hear a song that feels like it was written just for you, or bump into someone who changes your life, remember, the universe lined that up for you. Stay present. Trust the unfolding. And enjoy the endorphin high of living in alignment with the flow of the universe. Thank you for being here today, beautiful souls. If this message resonated with you, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share it with someone who needs to hear this. And tell me in the comments, what's the most magical synchronicity you've ever experienced? Until next time, keep your eyes open for the signs, because the universe is always speaking to you.